Hello, this is Dave Gardner from Camillus Ads, and this is the overview video and presentation that I recently did for the Greater Camillus Chamber of Commerce on June 26, 2018. So if you were not available at that, hopefully you're finding some benefit from this review presentation. So the big question that we're focusing on is, and big idea is the idea of email marketing and best practices and why and who would actually need it for a business. So basically, who really needs it is any business or person looking to run a business or communicate with their followers and customers. Now, whether it's a pizza shop, pet store, pita pit, bakers, builders, breweries, restaurants, roofers, and retailers, hopefully you get the idea that anyone that has a business should be using and benefiting from the ideas behind email marketing. And so why would we want to do email marketing? One of the things that people still do is they still read their email. And so it's very inexpensive compared to the print ads like the coupon clipper and maybe, a yellow book, which might cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars for every advertising. And it might not be till months later when you get that return on investment, but you can actually get this relatively quick and test with email marketing. And having consistent contact means you are always going to be remembered and they don't forget about you or put you to the wayside or in the recycling bin like maybe the coupon clipper. It can only take a few minutes a day if you really want to have someone, dedicated in your company or your business. Just spending a couple minutes a day can keep that engagement high. And also when you have last minute specials and offers or updates, you can share them quickly with your customers. And so how often should you email? You should try to do it at least a few times a week, if not daily during the week. But you don't want to be, again, someone that's forgetting to do it, not every other week or once a month, because again, they'll forget about you. So the more contact you have, the more they will remember you and your offers. And so what tools should you be using? Now, a lot of times people will use their personal email, and yeah, that can do the job if you only have a few customers, but you want to make sure you look professional. You want to be instant, and you want to maybe have some better graphics in there. And so you want to use something known as an email autoresponder. And so this is a software that captures email and other requested contact information and provides the ability to send instant and automated follow-ups to those subscribers. And so now a little bit more about email autoresponders. They can collect your contact information of the user of the subscriber. Let's say you want a home address or you want a phone number or maybe some other information that's pertinent. You can collect that information depending on how you set up your campaign. It will instantly redirect a subscriber to a page of interest or maybe a promised offer that you gave on the previous page or your home page. It's going to instantly send welcome messages with the offers, training, or follow-ups that you promised. And you can also set up some follow-ups to go out when you want so that they can have an automated follow-up series or training over the course of the next few days, depending on your business model. You can also send live broadcasts. So let's say you have an update, you want to send something out that day. You can send a live update or offer to your customers and leads. You can do this in both plain text or eye-catching HTML modes, which I'm going to show you an example of in just a minute. You can also create multiple campaigns to segment your list and your customers. Let's say you just have some that are generally interested and they're just leads, but then you also have some that are buyers and purchasers. You can segment them onto different lists, and then you can therefore, tweak around your email so that they're suited more towards that type of person. And one of the crucial things with an email autoresponder is that customers have the ability to unsubscribe from their email. And so here we have an example on the left of an HTML email versus the same email on the right in just plain text, because some email providers, if you think about the difference between Gmail and AOL and Yahoo and Hotmail and all these other, Gmail, for example, might accept some services and some type of pictures, but let's say, for example, AOL doesn't, and they might block certain things or send them into the spam folder. And so if you look on the right side, it says display images below over here. And sometimes, the pictures won't show and you have to be able to display those pictures. And so this is the big difference between HTML, which is, it pops out a lot more. It's more vibrant, but it also has more code. So again, sometimes it's a little tricky with that. So depending on what you want your emails to look like, if you want them to be vibrant, if you want them to be eye-catching, then you can go with the HTML version versus the text. With the software I'm going to talk about in a moment, you actually have the ability and you need to actually present both so that the email providers can actually accept one or the other. So the whole idea about email and sending emails is you want to protect yourself from spam. And so the question often comes up is, what is spam? Spam is basically a huge problem with email and clogging up your inbox. It comes down to being the unwelcome receiving of email where you did not really request or ask to be placed on an email blast list. And so there's laws, and I'm not going to go into the laws. You can do the research on that on your own. But the Can Spam Act basically is something that states that, you have to have the ability to opt out. And so on the previous slide, we talked about the ability to unsubscribe from the actual email list. So if people are finding your emails as not welcome and, maybe they just think that it's all promotional and nothing of value, they have to have the ability to opt out with an unsubscribe. And then you might be seeing a lot nowadays on GDPR compliance for collecting leads and respecting their privacy and as far as what data is collected. Most likely a lot of the customers will be doing with here again in the local Camillus and greater Syracuse area aren't affected with GDPR because GDPR is something that's over in the European Union. And most likely your clients are not going to be from Europe. But again, it's always good to let people know what you're going to be doing with their details and contact information that you collected. So just some email do's and don'ts, how to have proper practices. You do want to send often, okay? You do want to share your personal stories, struggles, and successes that you've had with your business so people get to know you and understand you. A lot of times people work with a business because they like you. It's not about a business. It's about the person running the business. And so, just in Camillus alone, we have, many pizza shops, and we have many people who are, painters, or many barbers and hair salons. And they want to go with you. They want to know and have that relationship develop. And that's why they come to you instead of going to someone else. And so another do you want to follow through is do ask your customers for input and response. Get their replies, get their testimonials, get their ideas of how you can make their lives better or make the business better. And you always want to provide more than you promise with additional training and tips or discounts to your list. Give them surprises, give them extra bonuses and perks. Because the main point of email marketing and business, of course, is to get people back. You want to increase that lifetime customer value by giving them offers and getting them to come back to your store. Some don'ts, okay? Don't send emails about irrelevant things. Again, if you are that pizza shop, you don't want to talk about maybe, the painting that you do on the side, and running another business. Maybe they just want to focus on, the actual pizza and maybe how to make pizza. And half the time, even though if you told them how to make pizza, they don't want to spend the time to do it. They want you to do it because it's nice and easy. It's a done-for-you service. So they're going to contact you. So just be relevant and stay the expert in your field or niche. Now, again, like I said, you might talk about painting and how easy it is when you paint. I like to have a painting party, and if I have people helping me paint, I order up a pizza. So again, it's one of those things that, you can talk about other things, but make sure what you're offering them is relevant to your field or your niche. Never use foul language and don't put other people's down. Don't ever mock or, put down another business just because, again, it makes you look bad. It makes you look, unprofessional. Don't worry about being grammatically correct. Yes, we are human. We make mistakes. Okay. It's okay to make mistakes. It shows that we're real. And one of the things that you don't want to do and you want to stay away from if you're having, professional appearance is that whole BCC or blind carbon copy email blast out to everyone. So if you're just using your own email, you might have a big list of group and you copy and paste a huge set of emails and you blast them out to everyone. Or you make the even worse mistake is you mass email everyone else's email address. So that's a big can spam and GDPR compliance issue and privacy issue where you're blocking and sending out a list with other people's emails on it, especially if you are in a business that is, typically associated with, maybe some privacy issues or, you don't want to have, people know who your clients are. That's not something you want to have. And so you want to make sure that you have an appropriate email system set up. And so the recommended software that I'm going to talk about, and we'll actually have another video here, is the SendShark email autoresponder. And this is from a company that I have partnered with. The company is called Now Lifestyle, and the parent company is called GVO, or Global Virtual Opportunities, because it is a global system and it is virtual. It's basically in the internet basis. And so it's all web-based. It's not really a software that you have to, download necessarily. You will have to download and, just copy and paste some code onto your website. So you do need a website to do this. There's going to be some other avenues out there as well, depending on if you haven't had a website. But basically, we'll go through in the other video. I'm not going to do it in this video. We're just talking about email practices here. But it roughly costs, less than $200 a year if you're going to do the yearly package, which is basically a $35% discount if you were to, otherwise pay the $25 per month fee to use this software. Because again, they're going to have support there for you. I'm going to be supporting you as well. And any business expense should be tax deductible when you're using this to run and collect leads and to generate, business on your end. So, make sure you're always following through with your tax accountant just to make sure and verify this. But it is something that I always use in my tax, issues as well at the end of the year. So you can actually register at camillusemail.com, and that will go to the SendShark website that I'm associated with. And so the SendShark will have live support, and they're always quick to help if there are issues or if you're having a problem. But one of the key things is every little bit within the member area, which you're going to see here in the next video. So just look below for the next video. The member area training videos are every single part. So if you click on a new tab or if you click on a new piece to try to figure out, okay, what's the difference between a campaign and a list, and how do I create a follow-up message, or what is a send broadcast for live creations, there's a specific individual training video already set up. So the system's already there for you. We're also creating printable guides. I'm going to be creating some more as well. Those will be coming soon and available for you if you do decide to use the service. And of course, you're going to have access to me being local in the Camillus and Syracuse area to help you out when you do have questions or concerns, or maybe even just some, thought process and mastermind on how to, set up an email campaign and set up some follow-ups to get better retention of your customers and engagement going. And so my contact information, if you want to find out more, there's a couple different ways you can get in touch with me. Phone number 315-559-2784. Text messages work great just because I get a lot of spam calls. Speaking of spam, I get a lot of telemarketers just calling. And a lot of times, to be honest, I will not answer the phone, but I will always respond to a voicemail. So if you do want to talk, feel free to leave me a voicemail and I will get back to you. A lot of the companies nowadays are using softwares that bring up that 559 prefix and code, but they're actually out of state. They're actually using software to kind of copy and mimic local phone numbers. And so I protect myself from my time, and I'll respond to a text message. I'll respond to a voicemail. If you want to email, that would be even better as well, because then I know it's coming from a real person. So DaveGardner@camillusads.com. You can check information other out that I'm going to continually be growing this. As of June 2016, I have gone through some changes in my offerings and what I actually will do. And so I actually wiped clean the old website. I'm doing my my website overhaul. So depending on when you're seeing this video, there might be some minimal things on the website, or it might continue to grow. So continue to check that out for offerings, trainings, tips, strategies, and things that I can provide for your business. If you want to find out a little bit more about me, you can go to the DaveGardner.com for my personal blog and some other marketing tips and strategies I've used to grow some of my businesses on the side. And you can check me out at social media at Instagram, basically at Super Dave Gardner, and Facebook.com/TheDavidGardner. So again, if you have questions and concerns, thoughts, I'm always here to help out. And being local is always great to have someone face-to-face, hand-to-hand, to kind of go through, and I can come in and actually sit down with you and kind of walk you through some of this stuff should you decide to go through and improve your customer retention with email marketing. Thank you.